Marcy McDonald, online course doctor, here with another episode of the Online Course 911, helping you transform ordinary courses into extraordinary ones. So let's get cracking. Okay, today I want to talk about Facebook Lives. What's the challenge here? The challenge is that so many people that I've watched giving their Facebook Live have no audience. And man, it is a terrible feeling to see that no one has shown up, and then when you watch the replay later, you've got no views, or a few people signed on but nobody finished. So I want to give you a few tips today to help you make those Facebook Lives more dynamic and more effective, both as a marketing tool and as a teaching tool. So first of all, I want you to consider no visual distractions. I see a lot of people setting up their Facebook Live so that they have a ton of stuff going on in the background. So imagine, let's just turn this around, that this was my background. You've got tons of stuff going on. You've got white spots that are hot spots that are making it really hard to focus on my face, which is just lit naturally. You've got junk. You've got lines poking into my head. It looks like crap. So, my friends, don't do that. Clear out your space, set it up so that you have only a few things in the background. Now, you don't have to stage it the way I have. So I've got my video studio in the background, but you do need to make sure it's clean. And you also need to make sure that you don't have any other visual distractions. So for instance, besides the background, I want you to draw an arrow on your notes so that you're pointing to the camera eye. So I'm looking right at you instead of down at my notes. I see a lot of people looking like this or off to the side. So when I'm talking off to the side, it affects my voice, but it also means you don't feel like I'm talking to you. Now you do feel like I'm talking to you. And in a Facebook Live, the number one point is to connect to the people out there. Whether it's to sell or to teach, you want to feel that connection that breaks through the barrier of someone not being there live, but having a screen between you and them, okay? Another thing, if you've got notes, if you haven't just memorized your spiel, which doesn't necessarily work that well anyway, I want you to write out your notes, put them on the wall behind you, whether you're using a phone or your laptop. Write only the bullet points. Don't write every detail. If you've got an exact quote or some specific dates, times you need to mention, put those on your notes. Put them also in your comment section on your Facebook page. Next, I don't want you to film so that we just see the ceiling or we see someone's nose. So very unattractive, right? I cannot tell you how many times I've seen someone set their laptop or the phone below them so that all we're getting is a terrible view of them. It is hard to take someone seriously when you're just looking at their nose hairs or their wrinkles or chin hairs or whatever it is. So don't do that. Set your laptop or your phone on some sort of stand so that you can get eye level with your camera eye. Next, I want you to make sure you have good, clean audio. So a lot of people do their Facebook Lives while they're walking outside. That's okay. We get, we know it's a natural setting. We know that there's going to be noise. But if you're really trying to teach something, it is hard to compete with barking dogs, airplanes, people mowing their lawn next door, kids yelling in the background, whatever it is. Make sure that if you're recording outside that you've got a microphone set up so that you can get the best of that audio and that your audience is going to be okay with competing background noise. Next, I want you to use a very simple formula when you give your Facebook Lives. Now, this exact formula I tweak, but basically it comes from Stu McLaren, the membership guru. So thanks, Stu, for this. I want you to, A, start with a hook. Give us a story, a juicy tidbit, some surprising fact that makes us interested and makes us care about what it is you're going to teach. Second, don't overwhelm us with teaching a ton of stuff. We can only absorb 1 to 3 teaching points within that video. Take the time to unpack those teaching points, support those teaching points, and give us some juicy, exciting ways to remember those teaching points, but let's go through them at a pretty brisk pace and don't overwhelm us. We're not going to follow you. Next, I want you to bring it all together with a nice recap. This is what we were about. This is what we've learned. This is how it comes together. And then if you've got an action item, I want you to tell people what can they do for a quick win to apply the information you've just given them. And last, I want a call to action. So whatever it is you want them to do. In this case, I want you to sign up for more of these vlogs and for my weekly tips. That's my call to action. I give it at the end of every vlog. I give it at the end of every Facebook Live. But whatever it is you're trying to get people to do, make sure you give that to them in a very direct way at the end of your Facebook Live. So that, my friends, is all I have to teach you today on this episode of Online Course Doctor 911, helping you transform your courses one tip at a time. Thanks.